And welcome back to another episode of Bottom of the Clutch. Dare I say, here we are. We freaking did it, man. We dared to say it, and here we are. Well, another day, another no-hitter, and another episode of Bottom of the Clutch. Dare I say, will we be back for a fourth consecutive no-hitter? Another no-hitter, the fourth consecutive week with one. And it's Baltimore John's Means, so that's pretty crazy. So today, with me, I have manager Aaron Scott on with us. And well, Aaron, the baseball gods were on our sides today during these delays. We delayed our recording a little bit to record later tonight. And it just so happens to be John Means goes out there, throws the no-hitter, makes it the fourth consecutive week. Like, did you watch the game with the highlights? What'd you have to think about it?
I was keeping track of it on ESPN, especially when I got alerted to the fact that there was a no-no going. It's pretty wild. One of the guys I didn't expect it from, but that's usually the guys who give you the no-nos and the perfects.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same thing. I got the update and I turned it on. I was like, this can't be. We're just about to record a few hours late, more than normal. And then, could it be? And then, he did it. He pulled it off. I watched the whole ninth inning, and honestly, it was the most exciting one for me all season to see it again. But it doesn't shock me that it comes from a guy like Means because, you look at him, and yes, he's that low command type of pitcher, but that 18-out chart, it reminds me of that Tim Wakefield card from a few years ago that was kind of that do or die. So I like those interesting players. So Aaron, tell me more about your team build this year and how you've been influenced by the cards and what do you want to do going forward?
So one thing I've noticed, especially just from seeing other games, other teams build up, I've been looking at guys with high speed but also high pop, like say Ronald Acuna Jr. or Jose Ramirez, guys that can not only hit long balls, but probably swipe a few bases if they just get on base.
Yeah, I got it. So going for more the speed, the power route, I got you. I was in the same boat. I was going the power, and I was looking for those handedness advantages. I went with that almost all switch hitting team that seemed to work very well for me in the polar power. It took me, pretty, deep into the playoffs, winning around. But going forward with that speed and power team, what are some of the players that you've rattled off the top of your head that okay, I know I'm sliding this guy into my slot, come the time?
Well, like I said, Jose Ramirez, Ronald Acuna Jr., admittedly, as much as I hate him because he was part of the cheating Astros, Jose Altuve is the guy I've looked at.
Yeah, Altuve was really getting it last night while watching the Yankee game, so...
Well deserved. He shouldn't have done it.
So, of course, another fan from Texas, as we see with, the jersey there. I'm sure you're not too happy with that as well. So, let's talk about strategy. Throw the trash throws strategy out the window. Clutch baseball strategy. What are some of your favorite cards that you're looking forward to playing, especially if you're going with a speed and power type of build?
Well, there's the obvious power cards like See It Clearly, On Deck Circle, which does great to give your next guy on base, especially if you got low outs on the current batter. But also I Am Inevitable, especially late in the game.
Is that something you look for outside of the power? Do you look for high power, low outs? Or are you looking for really just chart over on base ultimately in the end?
Ideally, I don't want to pick a guy that's more than 7 outs. Mostly because I've had a lot of misfortune of rolling outs on my chart. There's maybe one card who I rarely roll outs on his chart, even though he's an 8 or 9 out guy, and that's Kevin Kiermaier.
That's funny. I love Kiermaier and thinking about speed and power. I'm thinking speed and defense immediately with him, which is why I love him. I love playing climbing the wall. I love having that potential out there, with someone to rob home runs. So I love a player like that on my team. Perfect player like that for it.
Not to mention, most of the at-bats I have him with, whenever he gets a mistake pitch thrown his way, it's gone.
That's great. Yeah, so looking for those mistake pitches, using those strategy cards for it. Pitching wise, do you have any plan going forward pitching wise? Because it's been such a unique year for that right now. You know, we think that the bullpen is going to come in here and sweep out starting pitchers altogether. Yet here we are, you know, sitting here for the 4th consecutive week talking about a no-hitter. You know, whether or not you want to count last week a no-hitter or not, we're still here talking about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I've always been like a fan of like the rotation, having like guys I can go deep in the game and not have to worry too much about my pen. But admittedly, I've been looking more 4-inning rotation, where each pitcher is a 4-inning guy, like Julio Urias or Framber Valdez.
Yep, so you're saying a lot of the things I'm hearing across the board, the league, you know, the 4-inning pitchers, the starters. Like I said, I think it's starting to go that way in the MLB. So we're starting to see more managers do it in clutch. And you're throwing out names that a lot of people are throwing at the top of their leaderboards. So, you know, we don't want it to get to that point in clutch. So it's nice that you know, expansions are going to keep coming out this year, building off of last year's set, really, you know, making it unique and diverse, and coming up with those players like John Means that, you know, maybe that command 3 guy that's going to come out with those 18 outs, you know, and you run the risk of, you know, that gamble. Maybe you have that day and you run into a lucky one like he did today, you know. Well, thanks for coming on again, Aaron. I'm looking forward to the High Heat League coming up. I'm sure you're going to be following it closely and crafting your polar power team to be really ready for it with that really diverse set we're going to have from all our expansions at that point. And at this point, I don't know what superlatives are left to say, but it's been 4 weeks. So at this point, I'm going to say we'll see you next week for our 5th consecutive no-hitter on Bottom of the Clutch. Once again, I'm Sean Norberg. Boom, right? Money in the chair and it fell off again, just like last week.
So close.
You saw it land though, it was in there.